co-op's gonna work, but I'm excited. In the modding, they're gonna let you make your own levels. There's gonna be hats you can make for custom hats. You can do whatever you want, and it's gonna be amazing. I'm currently I'm talking with the Hollow Knight community to add in a Hollow Knight mask into the game right off the bat when we start the game.
No! Shuichi wouldn't kill anyone!
Don't become emotional. We must seek the truth in a calm and logical manner.
It's gonna be sweet. But you just said sweat. Sweet is two E's.
Or all our lives will be lost here.
I'm not being emotional here. I'm saying it with conviction.
Even if Shuichi did go to the basement, he couldn't kill Rentaro because... security sensor.
I get it. The security alarm didn't ring until after Shuichi returned to the classroom.
It's like 11 o'clock right now. I would probably stay up until I finish.
It only rang after Rantaro moved the hidden door, which means he was still alive.
Oh, what did you think was 11? The whole reason I did that... Oh. No, he can handle a shot football. He isn't that weak. A shot put ball, as long as you're like, if you use the shot put ball in the right way, I wouldn't think you would throw it at him. I think what you'd do is smash him in the head with it, because you can lift the shot put ball. It's a little heavy, but you could lift it. If you brought it up above your head and smashed it down onto his head, I feel like you could have done it. It only rang after Rantaro moved the hidden door, which means he was also still alive.
If Shuichi was with me when the alarm went off, then that means he's not the culprit.
By the way, I want to confirm one thing with you, Kaede. Who set the security sensor on the bookcase? It was Shuichi, right?
Oh gosh, that face. It's a bit creepy.
Huh?
So carefully so the camera has a clear shot where the mastermind moves the bookcase. I'm gonna take care of the security sensor at the top of the bookcase. And we'll set the cameras near each door.
Yeah. Shuichi, what about it?
Did you actually check for yourself if the sensor was set on the bookcase, Kaede?
No, I did.
Did it ever occur to you that Shuichi could have lied about setting the sensor?
A lie?
But you also have to know that the guy talking right now is constantly lying and coming up with random stuff.
Shuichi pretended to place the sensor on the hidden bookcase door.
Shuichi did it just yet. I feel like we haven't really gone on to the real culprit yet.
But in actuality, he was holding it the whole time.
It's possible. But
and when he met up with you, he secretly triggered the sensor to make the security alarm go off.
That would cause Kaede to assume that someone had moved the bookcase.
That's true. That also means that because he can set it off, turn it off the sensors, and turn them on whenever he wants. So he could have done that to make it work.
I see! Sneaky little fucker!
You know, at this rate, everyone's going to think Shuichi is the culprit. I have to do something. I know for a fact that he's not the culprit. Is this where we get the lie? White noise? No, this is just that. White noise is a little... Hey, is the senator? Because it makes it easier to shoot the right weak spots. It also gives additional time. Let's go. Oh, he's in the middle now.
The security sensor was armed, but the moving bookcase isn't what triggered it. As it turns out, Shuichi had it the whole time.
The sound Kaede heard came from the sensor when Shuichi secretly moved it in order to trigger the alarm.
So when Kaede heard the sensor go off, she figured someone had tried to move the bookcase.
Only an idiot could make that mistake. The security sensor was armed, but the moving bookcase isn't what triggered it. As it turns out, Shuichi had it the whole time.
The sound Kaede heard came from the sensor when Shuichi secretly moved it.
Yeah. Oh boy, we gotta be real careful now. We gotta think.
The
this
security
one through.
sensor was armed, but
Look out.
the moving bookcase isn't what triggered it. As it turns out, Shuichi had it the whole time.
The sound Kaede heard came from the sensor when they moved it in order to trigger the alarm.
So when Kaede heard the sensor go off,
Oh, I
she
get it.
figured someone had tried to move the bookcase.
Say something. Alright, so what they're saying?
The security sensor was
Because
armed, but
of the lookout
the
feature.
what triggered it. As it turns out, Shuichi had it the whole time.
The sound Kaede
Heard came from
the sensor when they moved.
No, I was wrong. Oh,
Shoot!
I screwed up. Now they're gonna blame me for it, and it makes perfect sense that they blame me. I'm the culprit. Is everyone suspecting me? Done debating already? Well, this next part's mandatory, so let's get it over with. It's voting time.
Is there
Nothing
else I can do?
Retry.
We won't give up!
We won't give up. Now the case isn't too bad. It's actually kind of difficult.
the security
Actually
sensor
think
was
about this.
armed, but the moving bookcase isn't what triggered it. As it turns out, Shuichi had it the whole time.
The sound Kaede heard came from the sensor when Shuichi secretly moved it in order to trigger the alarm.
So when Kaede heard the sensor go off, she figured someone had tried
Oh,
to move
wait.
the bookcase.
Only an idiot could make that mistake.
I know what it is. I get it. I get it.
The security sensor was armed, but the moving
think you
bookcase
get it,
isn't what
please.
triggered it. As it turns out, Shuichi had it the whole time.
The
sound
Kaede heard
came from
the sensor when
Shuichi secretly
they moved.
No?
Shoot!
The security sensor
I'll
was
get this
armed,
eventually.
but the moving bookcase isn't what triggered it. As it turns out, Shuichi had it the whole time.
The sound Kaede heard came from the sensor
When Shuichi secretly moved it, in order to trigger the alarm.
So when Kaede heard the
Sensor go off. She figured someone had tried to move the bookcase. Only an idiot can make that mistake.
I can't. I don't like shooting everything.
The security
I like trying to
sensor
go
was
to logic
armed,
that I
The
think
moving bookcase
makes
isn't what
sense.
triggered it.
But but shooting everything does nothing for me.
Shoot!
I don't need
The
to do
security sensor was armed, but the moving bookcase isn't what triggered it. The security sensor was armed, but the moving bookcase isn't what triggered. As it turns out, Shuichi had it
The whole time! The sound Kaede heard came from the sensor when Shuichi secretly moved it in order to trigger the alarm. So when Kaede heard the sensor go off, she figured someone had tried to move the bookcase. Only an idiot can make that mistake!
So she couldn't have had the sensor on it. I'm guessing that this is it.
The security sensor was armed, but the moving bookcase isn't what triggered. As it turns out, Shuichi
He had it the whole time! The sound Kaede heard came from the sensor when Shuichi
I'm
secretly
guessing
moved
it's this,
in
but
order to
I'm
trigger
not
the
sure. Because all of
So
them
when Kaede heard the
seem
sensor
like
go
they
off,
could be
she
contradicting.
figured someone had tried to move the bookcase. Only an idiot can make that mistake!
I need to think sometimes with these.
The security sensor was
Armed, but
the moving bookcase isn't what triggered.
No!
As it turns out,
No.
Shuichi had it the whole time.
The sound Kaede...
Kaede heard came from
Ah,
the
I
sensor when
wanted to
Shuichi
get
secretly
that.
moved it in order to trigger the alarm. So when Kaede heard the sensor go off, she figured someone had tried to move the bookcase.
Only an
Idiot can make that mistake!
I could probably speedrun this game.
the security sensor was
I think
armed,
it would be
but
interesting.
the moving bookcase isn't what triggered it.
So it's
No, that's wrong. Wait a minute. This is weird. If the security sensor wasn't placed, we wouldn't have been able to take that picture. We were only able to get it because the sensor was triggered by the hidden...
Oh, that? Pfft, easy to explain. I guess you're right. Sorry, I didn't think that far ahead.
You're giving up that easily?
Yeah, I mean, whatevs. I made a mistake, big deal.
You speak as if you knew that from the start. Even...
So you see, Shuichi can't be the culprit.
Now wait just a minute. The security sensor had a power supply, so what if the security sensor was set up on the bookshelf, and Shuichi had its receiver? However, Shuichi turned the receiver off.
Huh? How come?
That would get you a picture, but no alarm when Rantaro moved the bookcase. Then, when Shuichi says he's gonna check the basement, he
That's
actually
true.
goes to the library. And thanks to the 30-second interval, he's got time to go in after Rantaro.
He could have collected the sensor from the hidden bookcase after killing Rantaro.
I see. Then he caused the receiver to go off in front of Kaede to trick her.
It's certainly plausible, considering that Shuichi knew about the intervals.
How needlessly complicated. But I guess it's not impossible.
Then, Shuichi really is the culprit?
So the ultimate detective is the killer. What a plot twist!
Wait! Why do you guys think he's the culprit? Shuichi, please say something. Why aren't you saying anything?
Shuichi, what's wrong? You're not culprit, are you?
Hey, you gonna say anything? Well, I'll vote for you if you don't.
Are you okay with being the culprit? Are you ready to turn yourself in?